Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. If you know who I am the one and only. Nice to meet you. Welcome to my garage with all my super awesome cars right here in LA, baby. Thank you. I really appreciate y'all being here. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Juan and Only. Today we're gonna be talking about some commercial modeling and answering some questions you might have or might not have or wondering. So yes, we're gonna answer some questions about commercial modeling, like questions like how much do they get paid, can you do full-time, things like that. So first question we're gonna answer: can you do this full-time? Can you be a commercial model full-time? And the answer is yes and no. So I say yes, right? I say yes and no because yes, if you're a really popular model and then companies just want to hire you back to back, or you just nail every audition you do, because in this occupation you do have to do auditions, guys. You have to do auditions, you have to get selected, and you have to come back to like when you audition the first phase, you have to audition the second phase and stuff like that. So yes, you can become a full-time commercial model, but you have to be able to nail those auditions. You have to be able to get those auditions, pass them, and get the part, right? You have to be able to do kind of like acting. So you'll have to do acting because you have to do video auditions where you're playing a role of a police officer, you're playing a role of a crossing guard, you're playing a role of somebody enjoying a roller coaster ride, right? And you have to get the part, guys. So yes, you can do this full time if you book back to back to back to back to back. And sometimes it's not that easy, guys. Sometimes you don't get the role. So that's why I said no as well, because sometimes you don't get the role even though you've tried doing video auditions back to back to back to back. Sometimes you're just not meant for that part, or you're just not what they're looking for, right? So it becomes a little bit harder for you to get parts, or for you to do this full time, just because you're not consistently booking. So yes, you can become a full-time model if you consistently book, or no, if you're not consistently booking. All right, so it's a little bit of both. So you might have to get a job, do this kind of like as a part-time thing for some extra cash and things like that, and that's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly fine. So if you do commercial modeling as like a part-time gig, perfectly fine, get some extra cash in your pocket, right? And everybody wants to know, how much do you get paid as a commercial model, right? So it always depends on each project, guys. So not every project pays the same. Some of them pay like 150 for the day, and you can do that if you want, but you don't have to. Some things that include in that could be like, you ever been to a place where they sell alcohol, right? And then you have people standing there they're like selling you a champagne, or they're selling you a different type of alcohol you never tried before, and things like that. That's kind of like some commercial models do that, right? So they go to a place, they put up their stand and like, hey, try this champagne, try this alcohol, blah blah blah, and they get paid for that, and it's pretty good money. And you know, the good thing about it is like sometimes they get paid $150 just for working like 2 or 3 hours, right? So it depends. So it depends on each project. Some of them can go up to 1,000, 10,000, even more. It just depends on the project. Some of them can be paid hourly, so some of them can pay you $90 an hour, some of them can pay you $40 an hour, some of them can pay you $50 an hour. It just depends on the project, right? I've gotten paid $100 an hour, I've gotten paid $120 an hour and stuff like that. So it just depends on the project, guys. So yeah, you can make a lot of money doing this in a very short amount of time. You can be paid $300, $350, $400, $500 just for working 3 hours. That's what I love about commercial modeling. You get paid really good money for doing something that you would have to work more than 8 hours at a regular job. All right, so the pay depends on each project, guys. So it can be a high amount up to, let's say, $20,000 for a project, and up to, and as low as $40, $30 an hour on a project, right? An hour, not $10,000 an hour, but $10,000 for a whole project. But anyways, yeah, it just depends. It's all dependent on each project, right? And how long is each project? It depends on what the company needs. So if the company needs you for a day or two, they'll use you for a day or two, and they'll pay you hourly or they'll pay you per project. So it could be $350 a day, $500 a day, blah blah blah. It just depends, right? So each project depends. Everything is a depends. So each project can be from 1 hour to 1 week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, depends on what you're booking and what you're into. So if you have time to do some big project and you want to make $10,000 in a week, then you can audition for that, and then sometimes they'll fly you out. Like for example, there was this one casting that I wanted to do, which took me to Miami, right? And it paid like $6,000, $6,000 for like a week, right? Like who doesn't want to work for a week and make $6,000, right? But you have to get selected. So it just depends on the project, guys. Definitely just depends on the project, and each project is a different length and they pay differently. Is it easy to be a model with an agency? Is it easier to be a model with an agency, or is it easier to do a solo model? So the thing you like about solo modeling or doing things on your own is that you can make your own contract, or you don't have to have a contract. You just show up and you agree with the photographer or whoever, like, hey, this is how much I want to get paid, and if they like the amount, then yeah, they'll agree to it and you'll go do the project, right? So for example, me, if I'm doing something outside of an agency, I charge like 100 and something depending on the project, right? Like 100 and something per hour. So that's a cool thing that you could do. You can set your own limit, but don't go crazy, especially if you're new at commercial modeling. Don't be like, I'm gonna charge $200 an hour. Like nobody knows you, nobody knows who you are. You're not very popular yet, so don't be overcharging, especially if you're new to the scene, to the modeling scene. But yeah, depending, the more popular you are, the more you can charge. The more busy you are, the more you can charge, especially if you're doing this on your own. What I like about agencies is they have a lot more connections than you would on your own. That's what I like about agencies, that they have a lot of connections. You can be in, for example, Texas, and you can go do some work in New York and get paid for that for a good amount of money, right? But the agency will always take about 20%, 15%, depends on the agency. Not every agency is the same. Some of them will do more percentage than the other, so they will take 20%, right? They will take 15%, or it just depends, like I said, on the agency. And some of them are exclusive and some of them are non-exclusive. What does that mean? Is that if it's exclusive, you can only sign with that agency and that agency alone. What I like to work with is non-exclusive agencies, where I can work with one agency and other agencies, right? So you can have multiple agencies. That way the work just keeps coming in. So it's better, in my opinion. You can do whatever you want, but in my opinion, it's better to be in a non-exclusive agency. That way, if this agency doesn't have some work or whatever, this other agency is throwing me some work and I can apply to those. Or this other agency is like, hey, do this one or apply to this one, things like that. So that's the cool thing about it, right? So that's why I like non-exclusive, because you can get more work from different areas instead of just worrying about this one agencies. Like, dang man, I haven't gotten anything like in a month or 2 months. Are they gonna send me anything? You don't have to worry about it, right? So look at your contracts if you ever do get into an agency, and in my opinion, make sure they're non-exclusive. That way you can get different agencies or apply to different agencies, and you can get more work that way. So yeah, so if you have any questions, guys, that's all I got for you today. Hope it was not too much or too complicated. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll try to answer it for you. And if I don't know, I'll try to find out for you, okay? So I appreciate you guys being here. I hope you like my supercar, my super garage. And thank you so much, and I'll see y'all next time. Like I said, any questions down in the comments below. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up so it can be shared around the world. And I'm about to go to the gym. I got some pre-workout in me. Gonna make these gains today. Hey, what's going on? Have a good day, guys. I appreciate every one of y'all. Later.